Hello, my name is James Brotherton with the National Weather Service in Hanford. This briefing will cover a period of excessively hot conditions for the region. Anyone with activities planned this weekend should be prepared for these weather conditions. Please monitor our website at weather.gov/Hanford, and you can interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Well, here's the big picture of what's going on with the weather. A large area of high pressure is centered over the four corners. This dome of high pressure will slowly build northwest through the weekend and bring even hotter conditions to Central California. Meanwhile, a plume of tropical moisture will move north from the Baja. This moisture will not cool us off. It will actually bring a chance of thunderstorms to the Sierra Nevada, along with slightly more humid conditions for the lower elevations. Just taking a quick look at the national hazards in effect this Friday afternoon, you can see the scope of the developing heat wave across the southwest U.S. A large portion of California, Nevada, and Arizona are covered with excessive heat warnings and watches. These conditions will persist into early next week before we see some slight relief. Temperatures will return to near normal readings by the 4th of July in the upper 90s to around 100 degrees. Zooming in a bit now, let's look at the detailed hazards viewer for Central California. As you would expect, we can see some unusual details in the extreme heat forecast. What I'm referring to is the very hot weather that is expected to develop in portions of the Southern Sierra and Tehachapi Mountains. Places like Yosemite Valley, Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Park, and the Kern River Canyon will be excessively hot this weekend, and dangerously so. Use caution if you have recreational plans in these areas. Heat illness is a serious problem in the United States. In fact, excessive heat conditions are this nation's #1 weather killer. Let's look now at the timing for the heat wave. Conditions will continue to worsen over the weekend, with the peak of the heating coming Sunday through Tuesday. There will be a little relief at night as temperatures will stay above 80 degrees, especially for the urbanized areas of valley cities like Fresno and Bakersfield. So let's talk a little more about those impacts. Our most vulnerable populations to the heat wave will be the elderly, children, those with certain medical conditions that are exacerbated by the heat, and the homeless population and those without adequate air conditioning. Our pets and livestock are also vulnerable. By the way, never leave a pet, child, or elderly person in your vehicle during hot conditions, not even for 1 minute. And now here are some of the details of our temperature forecasts. For Saturday, 100 degrees plus will be across almost the entire region. Temperatures will approach 110 in the desert. On Sunday, 110 degrees will be common for the western desert. Meanwhile, in the valley, we will be approaching 110 degrees. For Monday, we'll peak out at around 115 degrees or even higher in the desert, with 110 for much of the valley. On Tuesday, we'll see the peak in the valley around 110 to 112, with some cooling developing in the desert and the mountains. Finally, on Wednesday, we'll see some cooling across most of the area, although, as I said, the cooling will only be slight, with temperatures remaining near 100 degrees even on the 4th of July. Remember that while it's hot every summer in our region of California, these excessive and unusual hot weather conditions will set the stage for possible heat illness. This concludes today's weather briefing. Thanks again for tuning in to our YouTube channel. We'll talk to you again sometime soon.